Hello, I am back from my trip to Spain. It was amazing. Spoiler alert, it was beautiful. And I'm gonna share with you today all the things that we saw and things that we did. It was a great trip and I'm so excited that I got to go, and I'm really happy that I get to share this with you guys here today. Now, I mentioned in my previous video that I'm a little bit shy about vlogging in public, and I did manage to get quite a few shots of the things that we did, but I didn't really get a lot of shots of me modeling my outfits in, beautiful Spanish settings. So if you want to know what I brought on the trip, go back and watch my last video where I shared everything that I was packing for this trip. Okay, so let's just get right into it. On our first day in Madrid, my mom and I were determined to stay up for as long as possible because we wanted to fight the jet lag. But our jet lag actually wasn't that bad. We did feel like we still had a little bit of energy. So we ended up walking all over Madrid that first day. I think we got like 20,000 steps each in that day. We probably walked close to 9 or 10 miles. It was kind of crazy. And the place that we were staying is a hotel called the Petit Palace, and it is just steps away from the famous Plaza Mayor in Madrid. So the Plaza Mayor was really busy. I mean, it was just packed with people, and really a lot of the area around where we stayed was pretty touristy and pretty busy. But that was okay. I mean, we felt like we were right in the middle of everything, which was great. And we got to see a lot of things, and there were a lot of things to do right there near our hotel. So if you can stay in the Plaza Mayor and you don't mind bigger crowds, I definitely recommend it. It was a great place to stay. One of the really cool things about Madrid, and also just Spain in general, that I noticed in the places that we went, was that there are just cafes and bars and restaurants around every corner. So there's always a place where you can kind of pop into a seat outdoors and have a nice meal, have some drinks, enjoy people watching, enjoy the sights, and it was just a very casual, laid-back atmosphere, and I loved that. On our second day in Madrid, we mostly did shopping and kind of wandering around again. There was a big shopping area around the Puerta del Sol that was really close to us where we were staying at our hotel. And they had stores like Mango and Sephora and Zara. So they had some kind of big name shops down there too. And then they had a lot of smaller shops and shoe stores, all kinds of stuff. I did make a few purchases while we were there. I had so much inspiration for things that I want to make and projects that I want to share here on the channel. So I'm really excited about that. That night, my mom and I ended up staying out until about 2 a.m. And we actually would have stayed out longer, but that was a Sunday night. So a lot of things actually closed a little earlier. And the city was just so alive. I remember we were kind of walking around and talking, and we were just like, oh, I don't want to go back yet. I don't want to go back to my hotel room. Most nights when we were in Madrid, I really just wanted to stay up, and there was just so much to do, and there was always somewhere to pop in and have a little tapas or a drink and just enjoy the company of friends and family, which was amazing. On the third day in Madrid, a big group of us went on this tapas tour, and I highly recommend you go on a tapas tour if you ever have the chance. It was a great way to learn a little bit about the city, learn a little bit about some of the traditional cuisine of Spain, and also, get a few drinks and hang out with friends. And we also got to know some of the people that were going to be at the wedding that we hadn't met before. And of course, they were all just amazing people. So that was a lot of fun and took up the most part of our day. So we started the tour at probably 11 o'clock in the morning, and we finished up around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It was just very, very enjoyable. On our fourth day in Madrid, my mom, my mother-in-law, and I did a little bit more exploring of the city. We went to the palace, the Royal Palace of Madrid. Later that evening, we met up with the rest of the group and also met a few other people that had gotten to Madrid that day at the Sky Bar 360, which is located on the 26th floor of the, let me see if I can pronounce this right. I know I'm gonna butcher it. the Hotel Riu Plaza España. And this was probably the only thing that we really had to wait in line for a long time. I mean, it probably took us about an hour to get in, but it was so worth it because this was like one of the coolest bars. It was the coolest bar I've ever been to. It has amazing views of the city. There's this really cool sky bridge that's like a glass bridge up 27 stories, and it's really scary walking across that. But I did do it. I was actually very proud of myself, but it felt very disorienting to walk on a glass bridge that's like that high up in the air. Then we spent the rest of the night just bar hopping and ended the night with beer and tapas, and probably got to bed around 3 or 4 in the morning. So it was a good night. On day 5 of our trip, we headed to the Madrid train station, the Puerta de Atocha. And this train station is really cool. There's like this really neat tropical forest in the middle of the train station. It's very beautiful. And then we took a high-speed train from Madrid to Valencia through the Spanish countryside. We took a chartered bus from Valencia to Javia, which is where the wedding was going to be. It was a beautiful setting. It was right on the ocean, and it was just the perfect way to start our trip in Javia. And the vibe in Javia was just much more laid back in general. It was a tourist location, and there were definitely tourists there, but it wasn't very crowded at all, which kind of floored me because it was just absolutely beautiful there. So we went from being in this really kind of energetic, active city to being in a more laid-back beach town, which was perfect, and it was like perfectly timed too. On our second day in Madrid, we started the day a little bit later, and then I spent some time on the beach, just laying on the beach and enjoying the sun, getting my vitamin D. I also got a pretty bad sunburn on my back because I could not reach back there to put sunscreen on, and I didn't ask for help. I don't know why. But it was beautiful. The water was perfect. It was clear. It was cold, but not like excruciatingly cold. And it was just a beautiful day. And then later that day, we took a group trip to the town of Altea, which was probably an hour to an hour and a half away. It's known for its old city up on a hill that has all of these really beautiful white buildings, and it's just gorgeous. So we were there only for a couple of hours. We kind of walked around a little bit and popped in and out of some of the shops there, and had some dinner there, and then came back to Javia the same day. The third day in Javia was possibly easily my favorite day of the entire trip because they had arranged for us to take a group outing on a catamaran. And so there were probably 40 or 50 of us that went out on this boat and sailed out in the ocean and into an inlet surrounded by these gorgeous, towering, sheer cliff faces. And they were peppered with all these little caves and kind of craggy rocks, and it was just amazing. The water temperature was perfect. We basically just splashed around in the ocean, did some snorkeling, we swam into a cave, people were jumping off of cliffs, including my mother who turned 60 on this trip. I mean, it was probably 20 or 30 feet up. I'll show you a picture of where it is. It does not do it justice, but it was 20 or 30 feet above the water. She climbed up and jumped off. And she was the only person that wasn't in her 30s that did this. I actually was perfectly happy to watch from the water. Maybe when I'm 60, I'll jump off a cliff into the ocean, but for this trip, I decided to sit it out. But I was really proud of her for doing it. I thought it was pretty badass. And then that night, of course, we had the wedding. The wedding was beautiful. It was just so romantic to hear them saying their vows and people giving speeches with the sound of the ocean crashing against the rocks in the background. It was just perfect, so idyllic. One of the most beautiful, actually the most beautiful wedding I've ever been to. So they did a beautiful job with it. And I got to wear the dress that I made. Again, I didn't get really great pictures of me wearing the dress at the wedding, and I kind of scrubbed through some of the photos that were posted on their little shared link, and I found like a couple of pictures, but anyhow, Yeah, I did wear the dress that I made, and I think it held up really well. I was very proud of it. And if you want to see the process of me making that dress, you can go back a couple of videos and see that. And I also shared the video in my Packing for Spain vlog that I posted last week. The day after the wedding, we took another chartered bus from Javia back to Valencia. We were kind of, by that time, a little bit beat. We were really tired. But I will say where we stayed in Valencia was great. So I'll put links to all of the places where we stayed in the description below. We stayed in a really nice Airbnb that was pretty close to the Ciutat Vella, which is the old city. And I probably totally butchered that. I'm sorry if you are Spanish and I butchered that, I'm really sorry. But it was really close to the old city, and we were close to the central market of Valencia. So it was within walking distance, and we did walk around a good bit that first full day that we were there. But it was also located in a pretty quiet neighborhood. We were near a school, and it just felt very safe. It felt very comfortable, and we were just really glad to have a comfortable place to land on our last few days. And after the first day of walking around, we were kind of worthless for the rest of the time that we were there. We ended up like ordering pizza into our room, and yeah, anyway, we were just pretty tired. And the group by that point had kind of split up and were kind of going their separate ways, so it did kind of feel like the trip was pretty much over. And our apartment was really close to this little area called the Plaza del Tosal, and again, I'm sorry if I butchered that, but it was a really neat little plaza where they had restaurants and a few shops and grocery stores and that kind of thing, so it was really very convenient. And we actually ended up getting a train back to Madrid a little bit earlier than we had originally anticipated, because we were going to leave out of Valencia on the first train the day of our flight, and that would have gotten us there probably within about 2 hours of our flight, but we were feeling like it might be a little crunch just because we were going to take our COVID test at the airport. So we decided to actually go the night before our flight, and we spent the night in the Madrid airport, which wasn't that bad actually. And my mom and I were like the only two people in the terminal that we were in. They had these little lounge chairs that we could sleep on, but they were comfortable enough to like hang out for a little while, but they weren't actually that comfortable for sleeping. They probably do that on purpose because they don't want you actually spending the night in the airport, but it was fine. And then the next day we flew out of Madrid back to Atlanta, and then I got to Michigan probably between midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. And man, it was so nice to sleep in my own bed. It was a long day of traveling mainly because we had gotten to the airport so early. So it felt like we'd been just like traveling for 36 hours. And that was last Wednesday. So by the time you see this video, that will have been about a week and a half ago that we got back. Overall, I have to say Spain is a beautiful country. I am so pleased with how the trip went. And I'm also so appreciative of all of the planning that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law put into this trip. They did such a beautiful job, not only with the wedding, but just kind of giving us options for things to do while we were there. And you could tell that they really took the time to make sure that everybody was going to have a good time on this trip. And it worked. We all had a blast. So anyhow, if you are thinking of taking a trip to Spain, I hope maybe this gave you some insight into the experience. I will say that I am not usually the kind of person that has a lot of like wanderlust. Like I'm usually pretty content where I am. I have a lot of projects here at the house to keep me busy, and you know, I don't really plan a lot of big trips, but going on this trip definitely made me feel like I want to travel more. It definitely reminded me of how important it is to get out of your comfort zone and go see the way that other people live and go try to talk to people in another language, which is definitely a challenge. And I certainly tried to speak a little bit of Spanish when I was there. I'm sure it was mostly very agitating for the people I was trying to speak it to. And one thing that I did use before the trip, I used the Duolingo app to practice Spanish for about 2 months before we left. I really should have started it like a year ago. I mean, pretty much everywhere we went, people spoke at least a little bit of English. It just inspired me to want to learn another language and to try to incorporate that into my daily habit to try to learn a little bit of Spanish. So I'm going to continue using Duolingo. Highly recommend that app. It's actually it's a fun app to use. I use it every morning. I do about 5 to 10 minutes on Duolingo. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have so many ideas for things I want to make after this trip. Not only things that I saw in Spain, but just things that I think would be practical for summer wardrobe stuff, because those wheels are always turning. I'm always thinking about things I want to make. Anyhow, thank you for watching. And if you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon. That way you'll be notified when I release new videos in the future. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.